Is the Christianity we believe in today truly based on the direct teachings of Jesus? Or is it a powerful blend of much older beliefs, myths, cults, and imperial politics? In today's video, we will explore how the Roman Empire built a new religion to maintain its power, what it borrowed from pagan myths and Eastern traditions, and how this religion eventually became the official truth. Chapter 1. Apollonius of Tyana, the alternative Messiah. Figure. Apollonius was a philosopher, mystic, and miracle-working sage whose fame spread across the Roman Empire. Apollonius of Tyana was a Greek philosopher and spiritual teacher from the town of Tyana in Cappadocia, in Roman Anatolia. He spent his life traveling through the Middle East, North Africa, and India, teaching and learning. He was a central figure in Neo-Pythagoreanism and one of the most famous wonder workers of his era. His extraordinary personality and ascetic mystical lifestyle influenced his contemporaries and left a lasting cultural impact. Many legends surrounding him are recorded in the work, The Life of Apollonius. Most ancient stories about him involve the countless miracles he supposedly performed while traveling with his companion Damis. There are striking similarities between the lives of Apollonius and Jesus. Just as an angel announced Jesus' birth to his mother, Apollonius's birth was also foretold by a divine messenger. Apollonius was said to be born in the same mysterious manner, and in the same year, Jesus was believed to be born. Both figures command miraculous powers. They give sight to the blind, exorcise demons, heal the lame, raise the dead, read minds, disappear mysteriously, avoid pleasures like wine and women, live modestly, and reject luxury. Both supposedly spoke languages they never learned, showed signs of divinity in childhood, possessed extraordinary wisdom, preached inner spiritual life, and appeared to their followers after death. No documents from the 50s CE, decades before the Gospels, refer to Jesus. Neither pagan nor Jewish sources mention him during that time. Because of this absence, many modern researchers suggest that Jesus may have been partly mythological. Meanwhile, Apollonius, born in 4 BCE in Tyana, has a biography written by Flavius Philostratus, though the work itself was completed after 217 CE. Christians have often argued that Apollonius's story was copied from the Gospels. However, the Gospels themselves were written late. Mark around 70 CE, Matthew and Luke around 90 CE, and John as late as the 100s and 70s. Although more than 30 Gospels existed and hundreds of Gospel fragments circulated, Bishop Irenaeus promoted only 4 of them around 180 CE. These 4 did not take their final canonical form until the Council of Carthage in 397 CE. By then, additions and omissions over the decades made it impossible to determine what the earliest versions said or whether similarities to Apollonius were borrowed or coincidental. Between the 60s and 90s CE, decades after Jesus' death, short stories about him spread orally, often contradicting each other. Eventually, these became small booklets, and later, complete gospels. This diversity shows that there was never a single unified early Christianity. Apollonius also lived an ascetic life in solitude, rejected animal sacrifice, refused to eat meat or wear wool, gave away his possessions to the poor, condemned gladiator games, valued reason, and rejected entertainment and sexual pleasure. Like Jesus, he was seen as a sinless ascetic, born of a virgin, able to change form, called a son of God, calm in all moments, never angry, prophetic, and executed between 2 criminals as a manifestation of divine power. Unlike Jesus, however, Apollonius traveled widely, across Anatolia, the Middle East, and all the way to India, while the Jesus of the Gospels never leaves Judea. And while no Roman record mentions Jesus, Apollonius's life is documented in imperial archives. When Christianity became dominant after the Council of Nicaea in 325 CE, other gods and spiritual figures, including Apollonius, had their temples destroyed, and their stories were reinterpreted or forgotten. Early Christians described Apollonius as a sorcerer who communicated with demons and healed people using their powers. Although he raised the dead just like Jesus, Christians insisted that Apollonius's miracles came not from God, but from evil spirits. Apollonius healed a young girl by touching her, long before similar stories appeared in the Gospels. This act, widely witnessed, was later retold almost identically in the Synoptic Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke. To many scholars, this suggests borrowing or influence. His power to resurrect the dead was rooted in ancient pagan spirituality, the belief that life comes from the divine spirit entering the body and that death occurs when this spirit leaves. In this worldview, returning the divine spirit to a body could revive the dead. Apollonius, believed to possess divine spirit, simply channeled that power. Rejecting wealth despite his aristocratic origins, Apollonius gave away his inheritance and lived like a wandering monk. He traveled across Anatolia, debated with philosophers, and went as far as India to learn from the Brahmins. Like all Pythagoreans, he believed that animals possess divine soul and opposed animal sacrifice. His strict vegetarianism was part of his spiritual discipline. Apollonius accepted the Platonic Pythagorean idea that the soul passes from body to body, controlling and shaping the physical world. He believed that the visible gods worshipped in temples were lesser beings, unlike the one true divine spirit. This view, shared by Socrates and many philosophers, often put him at odds with the authorities. These theories, while fascinating, are not definitive. Some are supported by strong sources, others are more speculative. The Apollonius-Jesus connection is not widely accepted in mainstream scholarship. Many early Christian writers rejected pagan influences entirely, calling them demonic or corrupt. Saying Christianity is a synthesis does not mean Christianity was fake or worthless, but understanding its historical roots, its political development, and the cultural world in which it formed helps us rethink what we believe today. Maybe today we celebrate Christmas, but behind it stand imperial strategies, pagan traditions, and ancient mystical beliefs. Religion is never only sacred, it is also politics, identity, social order, and culture. The real question is this: with our beliefs today, are we still carrying the myths and worldviews of our ancestors? Or are we trying to start with a clean page?